Okay, we're here for our cross-country update with ETBU coach Natalie Prather. Coach Prather, coming off of a local meet, if you will, this past weekend at the Fire Ant Festival. Talk a little bit about your team's performance in that. It's a little bit different format for y'all, and just running kind of like a fun run deal for the Fire Ant, but you guys look at it in a competitive way.
Correct. Yeah, it's a fun run for the community. We treat it more as a speed workout, and I try to get them all geared up and say, hey, don't treat this like a fun run. And they went out. The entire team performed very well, and I actually had a lot of locals come up to me afterward and said the ETBU had not represented that well in a really long time. So that was very encouraging to me. They were all the first people to come in, which I said had to be the case. But they had fun, but they had a great workout. A couple had their best times at that race, some of the returning girls. It's hard because of the hills, but they treated it very well, and it was really nice for the community to see both teams out there performing well this weekend. So it's
kind of a deal. I mean, y'all do this annually, but it's kind of a deal. It's a competitive event for y'all, but it's also a little bit of PR, isn't it?
It is. It is a little advertising and letting people become aware of the running club. And I've had several people say, because of us running at the Fire Ant, offering their assistance if we were to put on our own meet here, which was very nice.
Well, good. You're back at it again this weekend of Saturday. Going to make a little drive over to Shreveport to run at Centenary. What do you know about some of the teams and the competition that you'll face there, and what are your goals going into this one for your bunch? Conference tournament's coming up just in a couple of weeks.
2 weeks, yes.
So obviously you're gearing up for that. But just talk a little bit about some of the goals that you have for this weekend.
The goals for this weekend, it's a fairly flat course. Well, actually, it's a very flat course. So we're wanting to also push the tempo. It'll be different from conference, which has a lot of hills. We also are dealing with some faster teams here, but I think that it's good. There's a few teams that are not in our conference, but I think it pushes our kids to go further, and when they can get a few of those runners, it makes them feel better. But I've got their goal times set based on the last races and based on last year's times, and I'm really wanting to bring in this time. We're at the point in our schedule that we're now honing in and working on speed and quickness throughout the races.
So obviously this is your second year to be with the team as far as coaching. Are you where you want to be going into the final couple weeks of the season here as far as getting ready? I mean, do you feel like you're on pace to really make a push at that conference meet?
I really think so. I mean, from what I've seen, and even from looking at times from the last years, I think that they're the fastest that they have been. All three of the returning girls have improved their times, and this is the fastest they've ever been at this point. And so I'm very excited. They're right where they need to be, and I think that we're going to show up well at the conference.
Okay. Well, good luck this week when you go over to Centenary, and then we'll talk again next week as we get ready for the conference meet.
Thank you very much.
You bet.